Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing five questions that relate to analogous pairs, which have to do with the verbal section of the GAT or the Qudrat. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so it says water, convection, space, question mark. We are supposed to identify the relationship between water and convection and find the blank. So we know that convection is a mode of transference of heat, meaning we're supposed to look for a mode of transference of heat. Okay, and we already know that C is not the answer and B is not the answer. Why? Because transference is like kind of the thing in between. Like you know what I mean? Like what I said is like second is the mode of the first. It's a mode of transference of the first, meaning it can't be B because transference is just the description and vacuum has nothing to do with it. I want to depict the meaning of convection, conduction, and radiation through drawing. So we know that the sun projects radiation when it heats the ground. When it heats what? The ground. So we said that radiation occurs when the sun heats the ground. So this is radiation. What is convection? We said convection is like when the warm air rises. So when it rises, when the warm air rises, these are maybe like clouds and whatnot. These are really bad clouds, so please ignore that. Maybe this is like the blue sky. I'm a very bad drawer. But yeah, that means convection. So we said convection is when the warm air rises. Okay, and what is conduction? What is conduction? Conduction is when the ground heats the air. So the opposite way. So let's say maybe this is like, I don't know, a garden or something. And it's like going upward. Why? Because conduction means when the ground heats the air. So we said this is conduction. So we said radiation is when the sun heats the ground, convection is where the warm air rises, and conduction is when the ground heats the air. So which one has the closest relationship with space? We can infer that D has the closest relationship with space. Why does D has the closest relationship to space? Because radiation is the energy that comes from a source and travels through space at the speed of light. At the speed of light. We can already infer it's D. Why? Because it mentions the word space and it's a mode of transference to space. Now let's move on to question number 2. Question number 2 says growth, death, increase. So we already know that here we are looking for the inverse relationship. We're looking for the opposite, the inverse relationship. So what puts an end to something happening by the first? So this puts an end to this. What puts an end to increase? Decrease, without even thinking. We know decrease puts an end to increase, or it's opposite relationships. So you can already infer that it's B. This one is pretty easy. Now let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3 says oxygen, burn. Carbon dioxide, a question mark. So we know that oxygen basically supports the chemical processes that happen during a fire. So when fuel burns, it reacts with oxygen and the surrounding air, like releasing heat and generation combustion products such as gas, smoke, and etc., etc. And we know that this process is called oxidation, but we don't need to know the process name for this question, but I just thought, why not give you the information? So we know that oxygen helps in burning. So what does carbon dioxide do, or what does it help in? We know that carbon dioxide, first of all, it has nothing to do with isolation, and it does not let anything explode, and it does not cause foam. So we can already infer that the answer is C through the process of elimination. But through like understanding and logic, let me explain to you. So we said that oxygen helps burning. So this helps this. And what does carbon dioxide do? Carbon dioxide extinguishes fire. Carbon dioxide extinguishes fire. So we know that the answer is C. Now let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3 says dog bark, goat question mark. So we're supposed to look for the noise that's produced by the first thing. So we know that a dog produces barks, and a goat, what does it produce? We know that it doesn't produce bray because a donkey produces bray, and grunt is a sound produced by humans, and howl is produced by wolves. So we automatically can infer that it's A. But we know that a bleat is a sound that comes from goats. So that's the answer. Now let's move on to our 5th and final question. So it says grain, stalk, stick, question mark. So what's the relationship between grain and stalk? The relationship is that a stalk is a collection of grains. So we're supposed to look for the word that means a collection of a stick. And we know it's not collection because collection is the word that we're using to, I guess, identify the relationship. And we know it's not a string because that is like singular, so we know that's not it. And we know it's not heap. Why? Because heap, it's a large amount of something, but it's not the best fit. We know that the answer is B. Why? Because bundle, we have a bundle of sticks. That's the best way to describe the relationship, and that's the best way to put it in a sentence rather than a heap of sticks, because a heap of sticks just sounds not the best. Now we have completed our 5 analogous pairs. I hope you guys learned something from this video. Please don't hesitate to comment down any questions you have, or even email me at wizworksyt@gmail.com if you have any questions about the GAT or anything in a general sense. Please don't hesitate to email me. This is a Y. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is WizWorks. See you in the next video.